So welcome. Today's class is going to be a slower flow. We're going to be holding some more postures, just kind of stretching throughout the body. So this is going to be a class that's perfect for beginners to intermediate. So there's nothing that's going to be too strenuous today. Slower paced, as I said. Class is going to be about 50 minutes, so we'll get done just a little bit before 6:30. No props are needed. All you need is your yoga mat or just a cushy place if you don't have a yoga mat that you can practice. Yeah, so my name is Nikki. We're going to get started in child's pose today. So we're going to take the toes to touch. The knees are going to be just wide enough so those ribs can slide through and touch the insides of your thighs. I want you to take the hands to the top of the mat and then just gently rest your forehead, coming into a comfortable position. So with the legs, I just want you to be mindful that the knees aren't too wide. We are definitely not warmed up yet, so just be aware of the positioning of your knees. Take a nice big deep inhale through your nose here in child's pose. And exhale as you release it through your mouth. Try that again. Inhale through your nose, eyes are closed. Exhale as you release through your mouth. One more breath like that. Big, slow, deep inhale. And exhale, nice and slow. Continuing that same pace of breath, just transition to breathing in and out through your nose, keeping your lips sealed. Just allow yourself to be present here, right now, in this moment, on your mat. Be present in your body. With every breath, allowing your hips to sink a little bit deeper towards those heels. Letting your day just melt away, connecting with yourself, connecting with your breath. Very gently, I want you to walk both your hands out to the left side, finding a big stretch through the right side of the body. Either let your head rest on the floor or the forehead can just hover. I want you to think about sitting heavy with that right sitting bone so that way the hip doesn't lift up. Continuing to breathe here. All of that breath is going to the side body. Next inhale, I want you to slowly walk your hands through center. And as you exhale, take both hands out to the right side this time, feeling that stretch on the left side of your body. Breathe here. Next inhale, walk your hands to center. Take one more stretch here, allowing your forehead to return to the ground. Really walk those fingertips forward. those palms planted firmly on your mat. As you inhale, you're going to roll forward. So as if you were rolling forward to a plank, shoulders are going to stack right over top of the wrists. And then extend your feet wide. Allow your hips to sink down towards the ground. Toes meet the earth. Hands are right underneath the shoulders. Soft micro bend in the elbows. Really press the earth away. You're in a wide-legged cobra here, so the feet are ideally either right at the edge of your mat or a little bit wider. I like mine a bit wider. Really opening up into the hips here. Shoulders are away from the ears, so we're not sinking down. We've got control. Use those arm muscles. Press it away. Inhale, draw the toes back together, press the hips back towards the heels, child's pose. Exhale. We're going to do that 2 more times. Inhale as you roll forward, moving the feet wide. Exhale, let those hips sink. Wide cobra. Breathe all your breath into your hips, into your low back. Try and let the body relax. Beautiful. Inhale, return to child's pose. Exhale as you sink into it. One more. Inhale, cobra, float forward. Exhale, toes go wide, let the hips sink. We're gonna hold here for just a few breaths. Remember that soft micro bend. Elbows are right next to the ribs. Keep a nice long neck, reaching the crown of the head up to the sky. Drop your chin to your chest, open up through the back side of your neck. Good. Take the gaze up, open the throat. Take the chin to the chest again. And take the gaze up. Beautiful. Return your gaze to neutral. Press your hips back, child's pose. Only this time, rather than having the arms extended out long, you're going to take the hands through the center of your legs. So I'll show you what that looks like. Knees are still wide and the hands come straight through the center, and you allow your forehead to rest. Maybe that's not comfortable. You can always take one ear to the ground. So let's actually all do that. We're all going to take the left ear, looking right. And just allow yourself to sink deeper into this pose. Giving your body a chance to restore itself. Switch your gaze, right ear to the ground, look left. Beautiful. Slowly come out of that. We're going to make our way to a tabletop position on all fours. Warming up through our spine here. I want everything stacked. Shoulders over the wrists, hips over the knees. You know the drill. Nice long spine. Tops of the feet are on the mat. Take a breath in as you let the belly fall. Taking the gaze up. And then on an exhale, drop the chin to the chest, round your spine. Inhale, return to cow, belly drops. Exhale, cat. So think about moving your spine in opposite directions. take one more of each. And we'll return to a neutral spine in our tabletop. From here, I want you to extend your left leg out long. Try and get the foot completely on the ground. So you want to try and get that foot as flat as you can. Be mindful that you're lining up your heel with your hip. So rather than having the foot too far back or too far forward, we want it right in line with that hip. Keep both palms on the ground. Take a big inhale as you lift that left arm overhead. So same leg that's extended, same arm goes overhead. And as you exhale, thread that arm through, lower down onto the back side of the left shoulder, drop the left ear to the ground. That left hand, the palm is facing up, and then use that right hand to kind of navigate how far you want to go into this. Feeling that gentle stretch in the upper back. Keeping those hips stacked above the knees as much as you can, trying not to let them shift too far back. Keep breathing here, slow, deep breaths. On an inhale, you'll unwind the same way you came into it, extending that left arm up overhead, gaze follows the hand. And then exhale as you return the left hand to the ground, keep that left leg extended. Both palms on the mat, hands are right underneath your shoulders. On an inhale, you're going to extend the left leg to the back and then extend that right arm long. So here in a balancing table, I want you to keep your gaze neutral so you're looking down. Active flex in that left foot. Core is active, so you're squeezing the navel to the spine so we're not sinking deep. Everything's strong, controlled, strength. Breathe here. This next one's going to test your balance here. I want you to reach your hand for your left foot. So right hand reaches the left foot. You're grabbing it on the inside of the foot. From here, start to kick your hand into your foot. Open your chest. Take your gaze up. Kick. Keep kicking the hand. It's so important. Breathe. You've got this. Hold on to it. Take a breath in. And exhale, slowly lower with control. Extend the arm and the leg long. And then drop the arm and the leg. Press the hips back towards the heels, child's pose. Rest your forehead on the ground. Return to your tabletop here. Switching sides. You're going to extend that right leg long this time. Heel in line with the hip. Make sure that foot's completely on the ground. Big inhale as the right arm reaches overhead, taking the gaze up. Exhale, thread the right arm through to the left. Drop the right ear to the ground. And breathe. As you breathe, I want you to practice slowing down your breath rather than quickly inhaling and exhaling. Challenge yourself to see if you can slow down. Maybe even count your breaths, having the same count in and the same count of breath out. Same way you came into it, big inhale, right arm rises overhead. Exhale, set the right hand to the ground. Keep the right leg extended. Take a breath in as you extend the left arm, right leg long. So you transition that right leg to the back, so it's reaching towards the back of your mat. Left arm is reaching towards the top. Squeeze that belly, squeeze your low back. Squeeze the right glute. Beautiful. Reach that left hand to meet the inside of the right foot and begin to start kicking that foot into the hand. Really press your right hand away from the ground to allow your chest to open up. Take your gaze to the ceiling. Good. Breathe into it. Keep kicking. You're so strong. Adjust if you need to. You've got this. One more full breath. On an inhale with control, release the arm and the leg, extend it long. And exhale, return to tabletop. Child's pose. Press the hips to the heels. This time, I want you to take your arms by your side, reaching your fingertips far behind you. And just allow your upper body to melt over top of your legs. If you're feeling this is uncomfortable for your abdomen, remember you can always take those knees wider so you've got a place to kind of slide into, rather than when the knees are together, it kind of scrunches everything up here in our belly, our intestines, all our organs like, what's going on? So you can separate the knees so you can slide in if that's more comfortable for you. Allowing the forehead to rest on the ground. Let your shoulders relax, your arms, your neck, everything just rest heavy here on the ground. We're going to stay here for 3 more deep breaths. Beautiful. Once you've completed your breaths, slowly press yourself up, making your way back into a tabletop. We'll tuck all 10 toes, press the hips high, find yourself in a downward dog. We're not going to spend too much time here. It's more going to be transitional today. But let's just spend a few breaths here in our down dog, getting situated, checking in that those fingers are spread nice and wide. Shoulders, imagine yourself pressing away from the ground, so really activate your shoulders. Navel draws closer to the spine. Soft bend in the knees and allow those heels to sink closer to the earth. Breathe. As we breathe, I want you to just gently shake your head no, releasing any tension you might be holding on to. And gently nod your head yes. And one more time, shake it no, nice and easy. And yes. Beautiful. I closed my eyes. If you did as well, gently open your eyes. We're just gonna gently swivel the heels from right to left. So gently drop both heels to the right side. So you're on the inner blade of the left foot, outer blade of the right. And you're just slowly gonna make a windshield wiper motion, moving those heels from right to left. Feeling a nice little stretch through the hips, finding some movement. And we'll return to neutral. All 10 toes are on the mat, and begin to pedal out your feet. Bending and straightening one leg at a time. Beautiful. I want you to keep a soft bend in both knees, and very gently, we're going to step the right foot to the right thumb. And immediately drop that left knee. Big inhale as your arms sweep overhead. And as you exhale, I want you to drop your right hand, take a side lean. Left arm goes up and over, and we're looking for that deep stretch in the hip flexor on the left leg. So that's the front side of the left leg. Being mindful that our joints are always stacked, so take a look at that right knee, making sure it's stacked over top of the heel. Breathe into it. Next inhale, lift that right arm overhead. And as you exhale, sweep both hands behind the low back. Interlace the fingers. Straighten out the arms. Pull the shoulders back. Feel that opening, that releasing your chest. You're opening up your heart. Maybe even take the gaze up. If this is uncomfortable, you can always just keep your hands to the top of that right thigh. Beautiful. Gently release that bind with your hands. Palms meet the mat. Press your hips back towards your left heel. Straighten out the right leg. Half splits. Active flex in that right foot, and all the stretching is going on in that back side of that right leg. Maybe you want to fold over. Maybe you want to stay lifted. Beautiful. Slowly release out of it. Bend that right knee. Tuck the left toes, lift the knee. And then we're going to turn all 10 toes to the left side of our mat. So you're going to have to walk your hands with you. Straighten out both your legs. Pigeon your toes. And just allow yourself to fold forward into your wide-legged fold. The weight shifts to the balls of your feet. I'm going to take another chest expansion here, interlacing my hands at the base of my spine, and then just allowing gravity to take over here. Feeling the stretch through my shoulders. This is totally optional. You can always just take the hands right beneath your head, letting them hang heavy. You can take the hands behind the heels. There's really endless options for what your arms can do here. Wherever you're at, try and find that stillness, that slowing down of your breath. Checking in that you're still present in your body. without judgment. Just allowing yourself to be here right now. If you took that bind with your hands, go ahead and slowly release. We're going to set the palms flat to the mat so they're right underneath the shoulders. And I want you to lift up to a flat back. We're going to take a twist here. So big inhales, we reach that right arm up overhead. And exhale, really lifting up tall, shoulders are stacked, gaze goes up to the ceiling. Take another breath in. And as you exhale, release that right hand. Find your left ankle with your right hand and pull yourself closer towards that left leg. Maybe you can give your knee or your shin a kiss. Keeping those legs straight with that soft micro bend. Protect your knees. Beautiful. Release. Take your hands right beneath your shoulders once again, and we're just going to bend the knees from right to left. So keeping the hands on the ground, just bend the right knee and the left so you're shifting your hips from side to side, feeling a soft stretch on the inner thighs. You might need to separate your feet a bit more to allow yourself to bend a little bit deeper. Keep going right to left. One more, and then we'll hold on the right. So bend the right knee, Skandasana. From here, if you can, lower all the way down, keeping an active flex in that left foot. If this feels challenging, maybe you don't have the accessibility in your hips, I want you to keep both feet flat on the mat and stay lifted here in a side lunge for just a moment. If you're in Skandasana, option to extend the arms wide, maybe taking the gaze up to the ceiling, reaching that left arm tall, or maybe you want to even take a bind, reaching the right hand for the left. If you're taking the bind, keep the chest lifted. Breathe into it. And we'll slowly release wherever you're at, straightening out both legs, hips go high. Very gently shift your toes to the front of your mat or your room, finding yourself in a lunge. Bend the right knee, lunge on fingertips here for just a moment. Take both palms to the mat, step your feet back to downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet here, or if you want, you can swivel your heels. You can just hold in stillness. I like the movement. Beautiful. Let's take it to the other side. Keep that soft bend in the knees. Slowly step that left foot to the left thumb this time. Immediately drop the right knee. Big inhale as you sweep those arms overhead. Exhale, drop the left hand, take a side lean. I want you to stay active here. It's very common to just dump and release into this lunge, but we want to be active in the legs, opening up through that right hip flexor. And right arm is up overhead, reaching tall. Maybe your fingers don't touch the ground like mine do. You can always keep your hand up on your thigh if that's more comfortable. 2 more deep breaths here. I think one of my favorite sayings is get comfortable being uncomfortable. There's so much in yoga that can be uncomfortable, but it's so rewarding, so beneficial. Beautiful. Take a big inhale as you sweep that left arm up overhead. And exhale, both hands fall behind the low back. Interlace the fingers, open the chest. Draw those shoulders together. Gaze up to the ceiling if you'd like. That's completely optional. Hold on to it, I know. On an exhale, slowly release the hands to the mat. Good work. Press the hips back, straighten out the left leg, half splits pose. Active flex in that left foot. Again, looking for the release in that hamstring, the back side of the left leg here. Maybe you try folding forward, doing a little yogi bounce. So just gently coming into it, getting into that uncomfortable place, and then releasing out of it. And once you've found that sweet spot, if you'd like, you can hold it. Beautiful. Very gently bend the left knee, tuck the right toes, lift that leg up, and then turn all 10 toes to the right side of your mat, finding your wide-legged fold on the other side. This time I'm going to take my hands opposite hand to opposite elbow above my head in my fold. If you'd like, you can join me. And then I like to find a little sway. So maybe you want to draw a figure 8 here. Maybe you want to hang heavy. I invite you to make this your own. This is your practice. This is your body. So do what feels right to you. Maybe what I'm doing doesn't feel right in your body, and that's totally okay. Gently release from whatever position you're in with your hands. Palms rest on the mat right underneath the shoulders. I want you to take that right hand to the center of the mat. Inhale, left arm rises overhead. Shoulders are stacked. Exhale and hold here as you breathe. Twisting through the spine. Try not to let those hips move. Taking the gaze up to the ceiling, looking for that left hand. Take an inhale. Exhale as you release, finding that right ankle with your left hand, and then use both hands to pull yourself closer to that right leg. So I'm grabbing my ankle with my hands, keeping a nice long spine as I pull myself closer, putting more of the attention onto the right leg. And gently release. Palms come back to the center of your legs. You've got a flat back here. Legs are still wide. And then just start to bend one knee at a time. Again, moving those hips from right to left. And this time we'll end with our left knee bent. Skandasana, side lunge. If you can, let those hips sink all the way down to that left heel. You might need to adjust. As you can see, my left heel doesn't touch the ground. That's totally okay. There are some people who have that flexibility and can get it all the way down. I like to keep an active flex in my right foot. There's lots of different ways of doing this. This is just my particular preference. You can hold here with hands at prayer. If you'd like, you can extend your arms long, placing that left hand on the ground, right arm reaches up overhead, or even taking a bind, wrapping that left arm around the left knee, and the hands meet behind my low back. We've always got one side that's better than the others. This side's a little bit harder for me. And if you don't want to do this, just hold here in your side lunge for just a moment. You can even keep your hands resting on the ground. Almost there. If you took the bind or your arms are extended long, slowly release. Hands to the ground, straighten out both legs, send the hips high. Beautiful. Turn all your toes to the top, walk your hands to the top of your mat. Holding here with that left foot forward, lunge on fingertips for just a moment. Beautiful. From here, your left foot stays in your lunge. Take your hands to the inside of that left foot and then heel toe your left foot to the edge of your mat. Or if you don't have a mat, it's going to be just a little bit wider than a regular lunge. I'll show you from the front. So you're here in a lunge. Take that left hand to the center of the left foot and then about 2 heel toes out. And then you can straighten out your hands so those palms are right underneath the shoulders. And allow the hips to sink, and we're going to make this a little more restful in our lizard. So I want you to drop that right knee, untuck the right toes behind you. Opening up into the hips here. So really use your breath to allow the hips to sink a little bit deeper. Check in with your elbows, being mindful that you're not hyperextending here. We want to keep that soft micro bend. You can stay lifted up onto the palms. If it's in your practice and you want to lower down to your forearms, that's cool too. Wherever you're at today is exactly where you need to be. Lower down to your forearms. Gently lift up to your palms. We're going to transition through Malasana. So we'll move from lizard to Malasana. So how we get there, we'll tuck the right toes, lift the right knee, take a big step to the top of the mat with that right foot. So both feet are wide. And you just step forward, bend the knees, let the hips sink down towards the ground, and then bring your hands to prayer at your heart. We want to keep the chest lifted here. Really press the elbows into the knees, opening up deep through the hips. If you've got something to sit on, if this is a little uncomfortable, maybe you're up here or you're just unsure, I'll show you. I have a block. But you could use books, you could stack a couple pillows, but just till you gain that flexibility in the hips, sometimes you have to adjust more than once, but using something to sit on So that way you can keep the chest up and lifted. Nice. Maybe closing your eyes here. Really try and keep a nice long spine. This is so good for your hips and your low back. Lots happening here. Beautiful. From here, we're going to move to lizard on the other side. Release the palms to the mat. Keep the right foot planted. Big step to the back of the mat with the left foot. Immediately drop that left knee. Either staying up onto the palms, or if it's available to you, lowering down to the forearms. More slow, deep breath here, in through the nose, and out through the nose. If you lowered onto your forearms, gently lift up to your palms just to transition. Keep that left leg lowered and just step the right to meet the left. So you're on your knees. We're going to come down to Sphinx. So from here, you'll lower down to your forearms. And then very gently walking your heels, your feet back, allowing the hips to gently lower down, being mindful of your low back. Sphinx pose, we're on our forearms, tops of the feet are to the mat, palms are facing down, and we want the shoulders stacked right over top of the elbows. So it's not out here, we're uplifted. Arms are doing some work here. Shoulders are away from the ears, so really press the ground away with your elbows. Fingers spread nice and wide. Close your eyes. Think of reaching the crown of your head up through the ceiling of your house, your room, wherever you're at, and touching the sky. So think taller, be taller. Breath in and breath out. Slowly lower down all the way to your belly. We're going to extend that left arm long. I'm going to show you from the front view because this one can get a little tricky. So left arm is extended long, right palm is underneath the right shoulder. Take a breath in. You're going to kick that right leg up and over. Drop the left ear to the ground. Rest your head. See if you can get those right toes to touch the ground behind you. You're looking for the stretch on the front side of that left arm. Take it nice and easy. Depending on where you have tightness in your body, you might feel a little more pressure in other areas. You might feel it in your back, your spine. You could even feel it in your hips if you've got those tight hips. Just breathe into it. And if you're not here today, that's okay. It's called a practice for a reason. We're always practicing. I'm always practicing. Sometimes we can be our own biggest critic when really we should be our biggest fan. And very gently release, roll back onto your belly. And switching sides, extend that right arm out long. Right ear to the mat this time. Kick that left leg up and over. Again, that left palm is flat to the ground, and you can use that to press yourself, opening up through the front side of that right shoulder. Breathing. And slowly release all the way onto your belly. Palms underneath the shoulders. Press yourself back to a child's pose. Knees can be wide or narrow, you choose. We're just going to stretch here quickly for a moment, releasing the low back, the neck, forehead touches the ground. Slowly walk yourself up, cross at the ankles, and make your way onto your bottom. And we're going to lay all the way down. Very gently finding yourself on your back. Drawing both knees up towards the chest, hands to the tops of the knees, or you can give the legs a big hug, taking opposite hand to opposite elbow. Head is resting on the mat, shoulders are relaxed, feet are relaxed. Beautiful. I want you to keep those knees bent up towards the chest. Release your arms out to the side, creating a capital T. We'll stretch the spine before ending with Shavasana. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, let both knees fall over to the left. Twisting through the spine. Try and keep both shoulders flat to the ground. Knees are stacked. And if you'd like, you can take the gaze out over that right arm. On your next inhale, one at a time, draw both knees up towards center. And as you exhale, let both knees fall over to the right side this time. Maybe you need to adjust, walking your shoulders out, and then take the gaze out over the left arm. Good. Twisting is so good for our spine, for our digestive tract. Take a big inhale, let both knees come up towards center. And as you exhale, I want you to extend your arms and your legs long, finding yourself in a comfortable position, whether that's on your back, maybe you want your knees bent. And we'll just take these last couple minutes in Shavasana here. Take a deep inhale through your nose. As you exhale, release it through your mouth. And we'll just take one more quick release of our tension. Keeping your eyes closed, I want you to make fists with your hands. Squeeze, curl up your toes, scrunch your face. Squeeze every muscle in your body. And release. Keeping your eyes closed. Allowing this time to rejuvenate your mind. Maybe you're finding some gratefulness for your body. I encourage you to take these last few minutes of stillness for yourself. As each second is passing by, your body is sinking deeper into the ground. I want you to allow your body to be in receiving mode, being open to receiving love, joy, kindness, not only for yourself, but also for others. Very slowly start to wiggle through your fingers and your toes, circling out through your ankles and your wrist, just finding some gentle movement, inviting it back into the body. With as little effort as possible, slowly make your way onto your right side, coming into a fetal position, allowing your ear to rest on your bicep. And just pause here for a moment. Coming back to your surroundings, coming back to your space, your body, wherever it is you're at. I'll leave you with this today. Slow down. Slow down your speech. Slow down your breathing. Slow down your walking. Slow down your eating. And let this slower, steadier pace perfume your mind. As we continue to move through this unique time in our life, I just want to encourage you to slow down. I know we've all been forced to slow down, but really just allowing yourself to be present, be aware of the moment that you're in, slow down, notice life, notice the people around you, notice yourself. Very slowly make your way up to a seated position, and we'll take one final breath together. Keeping your eyes closed, holding on to that place of stillness. On an inhale, slowly let the arms rise overhead, gaze goes up. And exhale as you release your hands to prayer at your heart. Thank you so much for joining me for class today. I hope it has treated you well. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.